And I'm like, that's it. I need to be a part of that.
Yep.
And so I just called and signed up.
The connections that you make and the friendships, it's very unique to a lot of the networking groups that are out there. I keep saying 10 years, but I know it's over 10 years that I've been involved with them. And I had done that when they first opened, when I first came to Prime Lending. But, you just almost have to, in this market, do a lot of different things right now. Everybody, Debbie Cowan here with Prime Lending, and I'm here with my really great friend Danielle Mills from Professional Realty of Ocala. Welcome,
guys. Hi.
So nice to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, yeah. So I know that you just recently changed brokerages.
I did.
So you have made the move, and how's it going?
It's going great.
Yeah.
Lena is fantastic. She's a doll baby.
Yeah. Now her office is like real close, right?
Yep, right down the street. It's kind of behind TJ Maxx and those executive suites over there.
Yep.
Her husband completely remodeled it, so it is gorgeous.
Oh, nice. I need to take a ride over there. Yeah, because there's a lot of you that have made that transfer over there. So you liking it?
I do.
Yeah, because you were with Magnolia how long?
For about a year and a half.
Okay. Okay. How long in real estate?
2 years.
Oh, so, oh my gosh, you're so good. I thought you had been in it for a lot longer than that. Oh, yeah. So how'd you get into real estate?
Well, it started about maybe 16 years or so ago. It was a long time. The kids were little, but I really was interested in real estate. However, the babies were small, and I didn't want to put that much into it. Yeah. I didn't have the ability just to jump up and go whenever there was a showing, and I was a stay-at-home mom, so that was not the right time.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting my business degree. I was at an assisted living. I was a business office director.
Really?
For quite a few years at Canterfield of Ocala.
Oh my gosh.
Excellent facility, by the way. And then
who owns that one?
Well,
it's
Wynn Porter owns it, but he owns a few in a couple different states.
Okay, okay. Because I have one of my daughter's best friends. Her father owns one here, but he's from St. Pete. I can't think of which one it was. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, he's from out of state.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get into real estate. I was thinking about it again. Billy told me, he said, just go for it. I know you've wanted to do it. So I would work all day. I would go to school at night from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night for about a month, and
voila.
Then here we are.
And I mean, do you find that you just have a lot of connections because you've been here a while? So that, I mean, Well,
I do think that helps a lot. And I think a lot of it has to do with, I just love building relationships.
Yeah.
So
you're so awesome at it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm no strangers.
I know. And you make people feel that way.
Well, I'm glad.
Absolutely. Thanks. So, Danielle, tell us something about yourself that maybe someone wouldn't know.
Maybe that my dad is a singer. He is the lead singer of a country music, classic rock band. He's been in music my whole entire life.
Oh my gosh. What's the name of the band?
Joe Reed and the Heartland.
And he's from Ocala too?
He lives in Ocala, yes. Yeah, they're originally from Maryland, both my parents.
Okay. But, so he's a traveling band?
All over Florida.
Oh my gosh.
He plays South Florida a lot.
He does. So anytime soon, will he be here that we could give him a little bit of press?
Well, he will be in Eustis here shortly.
Okay.
At Crossroads 44, I think it is. It's a little tiny bar that he plays out there, but he loves it.
Oh, that is so cool. And he's classic rock.
And country.
Mostly country. Okay. So you grew up in that.
Oh, yes.
So were you.
With music. And that's my soul is made of music notes. Hit my mic.
Yeah. Well, that is true. I mean, do you play or do you do anything?
I do not.
No?
No, I did not get that.
Did you have any siblings?
I do have siblings, yes. And I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. So many siblings.
How many?
4 brothers, 4 sisters. My mom and dad had kids with step parents.
Okay.
So, I'm the only one that's from the both of them.
Oh my God.
My 2 brothers on my dad's side, they got the music gene.
Now, do they play with him or no?
No, they just do it as a hobby.
Yeah. So is everybody local to Ocala?
My dad and his kids. My
Okay.
mom still lives in Maryland
She
with
does.
those kids.
Yeah. So do you get to go home to Maryland very
I do.
often? Yeah.
About
Yeah.
once a year.
Okay. So tell me about how many children you have.
I have 4.
And that was a big surprise to me. Yep.
I know you were like, what?
What? And
I have 2 grandbabies.
and that is amazing
Yes.
because you don't look like you should have grandchildren.
That's
So,
a good thing.
yeah, I know.
I say one day I'm going to wake up and then I'm going to just reverse.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Tell me about your grandchildren.
My grandson is 4 years old. His name is Wesson, and my granddaughter is 7 months old, and her name is Emily.
And is that not the best?
It is, because it's your baby's babies.
I know.
It's hard to explain.
Nobody will ever understand it until they experience it.
Yeah.
I have 4 grandchildren, and they are. I mean, you just can't even imagine how much you love them, and it's just a different. I mean, you love your children,
Yeah,
but these grandchildren are just everything.
Yeah. It's like I try to tell everybody, I'm like, it's something else, because obviously you love your children so much, and then it's their babies.
Yeah.
Knowing how much they love their babies. It's just
and
really
just
incredible.
Seeing the whole way that you feel like, you know what, I did something right when you see your kids raising their children.
Yep. And they're such good mamas.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's your 2 daughters?
I have 2 daughters, my 2 oldest daughters.
Okay. And so how old was your grandson?
He's 4 years old.
4. So that's a good age too. So I have a 5, a 7-year-old, and an 18 and 19-year-old. Can you believe it?
No,
my son and my daughter are 10 years apart.
Wow.
So I have 2 that are in college and 2 that haven't started first grade yet, or my one has started first grade.
Yeah, from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, so
at least you get all these different ages.
I know, so it's fun.
With all of them.
It is so fun. I just wish my son's children, they're out of state, so you don't get to see them as much, So that's
I can't even imagine that.
It is definitely just one of the biggest blessings of my life is those grandchildren. I just can't even explain it. So tell me about your Florida story. How did you get here?
Well, my dad and my grandparents and my aunts, they lived here from about 1992, I think. 94. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
One of those 2 years. They moved here.
Okay.
And then I just followed suit and moved here because I was super close to my grandparents.
Okay. Now, your grandparents lived in Ocala?
Well, they did live in Ocala. They both passed away.
Right. Okay. Mine too. But they did. But that you were coming to Ocala.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So where were you from?
Well, my family's from Maryland, so it's kind of a whole backstory. They moved to Texas. I was born in Texas. I lived there for a few years. Moved back to Maryland for a few years, and then here.
And what part of Texas?
Dallas, Lewisville, actually.
Oh,
right
okay.
outside of Dallas. There wasn't a maternity ward back in 1982,
so
they had to drive into Dallas to deliver. And I was born at Parkland Hospital, where JFK was taken when he was shot.
Oh my! Okay. My son, when he was in the Air Force, lived in what was it called? Wichita Falls, right outside of like an hour and a half outside of Dallas. There's nothing there. I mean, a long way.
Well, there's a lot of places in Texas that there's nothing there.
Yeah.
When I was about 2 years old, we moved to Bowie, Texas, which which that sounds like the middle of nowhere, right?
Right.
It was about 60 miles south of the Oklahoma state line.
Yeah.
We were on 152 acres there, so
oh my gosh.
I have such a soft spot in my heart for farms and.
So you're
nothing.
You're a country girl.
Yes.
You're a country girl.
So when I go back every year for my sister's birthday, I meet my mom there. She passed away. So we meet on her birthday every year. And I have to make a trip to Bowie. And if no one else is, they've never been there, they're like, yeah, cool spot.
But
But
I
know it's home.
Yep. That's very cool. I used to have an office in I think it was is there a Plano outside of Texas? Yeah, outside of Dallas. But I remember.
I don't know where Plano is located, but I don't know if there is a Plano, Texas.
Yeah, it's when I worked for a different company and I used to go as a regional, I'd go to. It was in. I'm pretty sure it's right outside Dallas, but anyway. All I remember is one time I got a special ticket to the Ritz-Carlton in Dallas.
My mom used to hang out there.
Oh, did she? Okay. And it was, I was this girl from Ocala, so it was really fancy. And my husband was like, we had a cocktail party and we went into it and they had these big giant bowls of prawns in it. And he was like, dang, look at the size of the shrimp. But the funniest part of the story, which is where I'm going, is we were laying out the pool one day because it was for a work event thing, but we had a day off. And the golf course behind there was, they were having the Byron Nelson golf tournament. And who's the guy? Who's the golfer that got in the car accident? Huh? Tiger Woods. Yes, Tiger Woods. Walked right past me, and I went to go take a picture of him. I was like, Tiger! And they went, lady, get back. No pictures. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
He wouldn't take a picture?
No.
You know who took a picture with me? John Travolta in the middle of Sears.
Here?
Oh, it was Black Friday. It was Black Friday.
He's a good guy.
And it was the only time I think I've ever seen a celebrity. And it was like at 2 o'clock in the morning, something in the middle of the night. And I'm like, hold on.
Well, you mentioned classic rock. So I was an Aerosmith groupie. And when I tell you a groupie, I followed them. I mean, I literally got the Red Velvet tour every concert I would go to. I was in the front row. I would get backstage to meet with Steven Tyler.
That is so awesome.
I mean, that's one thing that nobody knows about me.
Yes, that is super awesome. You know me with music.
Yeah, that's why. That's the only reason why I brought it up.
Inner groupie, like.
Oh yeah, and you know that there was a time. In fact, it was in Dallas. I swear to God, my daughter-in-law, I took her to an Aerosmith concert. Kind of why I went to Dallas to see them, but my son lived there, so I got her a ticket, and when we got backstage, Steven Tyler came up to me because I had just seen him in Tampa like maybe 6 weeks earlier. He goes, do I know you? And I go, yes. He goes, I know you, baby. And I was like, yes, you do. Stop. Yes, you do. Yeah.
That is such an awesome
I have pictures.
story.
I have proof. So, yeah. But that was my thing. That was my biggest vice for about 3 or 4 years. And my daughter, who is, at the time, she was like 17. I took her to a concert over in West Palm Beach when they were in, and Kiss opened for them.
Nice.
And we had front row tickets, and I looked over at my daughter, and I could not believe what I saw. She was literally with her fingers in her ear because it was too loud, and I was so embarrassed that she was my daughter.
Yeah, like, how are you, my kid? How did you come for me?
And I was like, what are you doing? She goes, Mom, I need earplugs. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are. So,
you're like, never mind, I'm giving you back. Can I get a refund?
Oh my God. It was like, I'm so embarrassed that you're my kid. And I never took her to another one, by the way.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, that was a waste.
Yeah.
So in Ocala, any place special that you like to go to? Is there any of your favorite spots? Are you a big going out for dinner person?
We do sometimes. I just feel like a lot of the times I'm just so busy. Just.
Do you cook?
I do.
You do?
I mean, I don't love to cook.
I don't
only because I don't like to make my kitchen a mess. Not because I can cook very well, and once it's done, I'm glad that I did. But at the time, I'm like, the kitchen's a mess again. I'm making a mess again.
You're one of those. Yeah. So
I'd rather just clean and then.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now your boyfriend, Bill, is a police officer.
He is.
So is that like a good connection for you with the police department? With all the programs that we're doing right now.
Well, he's a lieutenant for the Sumter County Sheriff's Department.
For Sumter County. Okay.
Yep. I mean, he's been born and raised here in Marion County, but he's been in Sumter County for 21 years.
Okay.
Would a connection? I'm assuming it would probably be a good connection.
You should do that.
I know, I do. I think I should probably get down there. I'm from Ocala, basically, so
I don't think about it.
I'm just like, let me just be here in Ocala. But I have thought about it I really should go down there and
talked about hometown
prospect.
heroes.
Yeah, well, right. And I give a $500 credit from my commission for any hometown hero. So, I mean, why wouldn't I go do that?
Yeah, I mean, why not take advantage? I mean, and let him know, he needs to make sure
I mean,
that.
he tells everybody, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
but
good enough.
they need to see you. I
See
mean,
my face?
yeah, they need to see who he's dealing with. Yeah, but I would literally make him just mandate if he's a lieutenant that they have to all use you.
That's funny.
Right?
He will write you up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Sorry, deputies down there.
So yeah. So, but that is, I mean, that's a good program, So, I mean,
It is a really good program.
I would definitely use him.
Yeah.
If I had a
To
police officer that, could push that business my way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, Josie, I had Josie on, and her husband's a firefighter. So she has that in and that niche with them. So, and do you have any, do you work with any of the police people here?
I do in Marion County. I just happened to have one came in as a lead, and then it just was a domino effect. They keep just referring.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so I've had my my fair share of Marion County deputies here.
Good,
so
good.
that is really awesome.
Yep.
And then one of them, he just loved me so much. Then I ended up dealing with 3 other family members of his. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know why they would love you.
I have no idea.
I know.
I'm so ridiculous.
You are. So let's talk about WCR.
Okay. I love WCR.
I know. So
it's my girls.
I know. So tell me how you got involved.
Well, I wanted to network as much as possible, get out in the community. I love outreach. I just, again, I don't meet any strangers. So I just wanted to get out there and be a part of something. And there's a really great.
Did you know about WCR before? Or because you've only been there, what? This is your first year? Yeah.
No, I actually didn't know about it. Right. I kind of did. Deanna Chosewood told me about it briefly in the very beginning, but when you first get your license, everything's coming at you, and you're like, I have no idea what's going on, and what does that even mean? And so she did mention it to me, and then just trying to get my feet wet, and then was just doing real estate, and kind of stumbled across it online on Facebook, and I'm like, that's it. I need to be a part of that, and so I just called and signed up.
So it's funny we're talking about it because I was doing a short video just a little bit ago and talking about the connections that you make and the friendships, and just it's very unique to a lot of the networking groups that are out there. Do you? I mean, you as an agent have to feel supported. I mean, that's one of the things that I see, and I feel. I mean, it's over 10 years. I keep saying 10 years, but I know it's over 10 years that I've been involved with them. And I actually just became a member of North Lake too. And I had done that when they first opened, when I first came to Prime Lending. And I thought, it's too far. But, you just almost have to, in this market, do a lot of different things right now. But so, I mean, what if you were talking to a new agent about WCR, what would you tell them would be a good reason to come?
Well, definitely that support and just being a part of something, I think, and just having different ladies, that's whether they're from a title company or they are from a mortgage company or a realtor themselves. It's just you, and I feel as though there's no competition. It's just you just become friends.
Yes,
we just volunteered at Marion Therapeutic Writing Association together, and not everyone, but some of us did. And it was just great. You just you get friends who are also in this industry with you.
It's like like-minded people. So you have people that are not only supporting you and rooting for your success. I mean, that's what I get, and that's what I see, especially on the agent side, is just that there's so much camaraderie and true friendships. I mean, in this particular not that the other boards haven't been good, but this particular board, it just seems so fresh and lots of cool ideas and just great people that
I feel like genuinely good people.
Yes, very genuinely. I mean, it's totally different. And I talk about WCR all the time. So hopefully, I wish it would just, I wish people would know about it, because I think we need to grow so much more than I mean, we have so much opportunity to grow. And there's just so much people get out of it, and it's not expensive. It's not anything that,
right.
and we're doing all kinds of fun events. And so, are you part of the bingo this?
I am part of the bingo bash.
So we are doing that on the 21st, right? From 6 to 9. Everybody's welcome to that.
Yep, welcome to the public. Yep.
Yep. So how did they go? Did they go online to register or RSVP?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you're an ambassador, right?
Yes, I am. So are you.
I know. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, we are ambassadors. But it is the 21st of April. It is a really fun event. You haven't been to one yet, so this is your first. Do you have a hobby? Do you have a favorite hobby?
We love to go on the boat and we love to go fishing. Not that we get to do that very often.
Okay.
My son is a part of Junior Bassmasters.
Oh,
yeah.
So does he travel like all over the place for that, or is he just doing it?
We stay pretty central, right around here. The lakes around here, down in Leesburg.
Okay.
Orange Lake.
Has he won?
Yes, he just got third place in his division, which is the junior division.
And how old is he?
He's 12.
Oh, and how big was this fish?
It only ended up being about 6.5 pounds altogether, but it's still third place.
Yeah. So where do you like to go fishing?
Well, it just depends. I like freshwater fishing better. Billy and the kids, well, Brady, he likes to freshwater fish too, but Joshua, my 18-year-old son, and Billy, they both like saltwater fishing. So we usually go out of Crystal River for that.
You do. Do you like scalloping and all that stuff too? Yeah, yeah. Do you like to eat the fish?
Depending on what we catch. Grouper is. I like grouper.
Okay. Do you cook it in your kitchen?
No, I'm not a real great fish cooker just because
it's messy.
It stinks.
So, what do you? I mean, like, do you eat what you catch?
Yeah, we do.
You do. Okay, yeah. So I'm a saltwater person too, but sometimes saltwater can be boring as opposed to freshwater.
Well, it's not. Well, I mean, it's all a challenge, but if you get a good grouper hole, you're catching them like that as soon as you drop the line.
Really?
Freshwater is where the challenge is at more. So people get bored with freshwater, but I will sit out there and bass fish all day. And that to me is
relaxing. See, that's because of what you do for a living. And it's just
you need to calm down.
It's just a little chill, it's like me going to the beach and just like, or gambling, I do that too. So, and I just
do you ever go to Oxford and go down there?
No.
Oxford Downs?
No. And I always forget about that place, and it's a good thing. I don't want to know about it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I
won't tell you about it.
I go to, what do you do there?
I gamble there. There is a big tiki bar outside too.
Is it just gambling on horses or something?
No, there's actually the games in there. I don't know anything about gambling, so I'm not even going to pretend that I know. But there's actual tables that I see when I walk past to go drink at the tiki bar.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I'll have to think about that.
Fun.
Yeah, there is that. There is that. So I want to talk about your boyfriend again, and just talk about your opportunities to make sure that you use him.
Please use him.
Please. And Sumter is a good area.
It is a really good area.
So, please do that, because I need some business from you, obviously. And I'm in that area a lot. Maybe we should do like a big co-market event there. Absolutely. I would be happy to do it with you. Yeah, but I think that there's just something about having a policeman as a boyfriend.
You're
being a real estate agent.
You're like, you're not using it to your benefit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just struggling over here. I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah.
I really do. I should. I think he doesn't want to necessarily. I mean, he tells everyone.
Yeah.
I have a deputy right now that's in Sumter that I have under contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Lake Panasoffkee.
Now, are you doing a lot of listings right now? Or are you doing more?
I have a lot of buyers.
So yeah, that's good though, because I'm telling you, a lot of the agents that I'm working with, and I mean, they've gotten into doing all these listings, and there's not as many buyers as there were for some reason, and their listings are sitting. So I said, go back.
No, I do have 2 listings coming up though.
Well, that's good. That's good. Where at?
5 acres out, kind of in almost to DeLand. It's actually Billy's aunt.
Uh,
And and
well,
it has
he
a home on
is
it.
good for something then.
Something,
Okay.
sometimes.
Okay.
And then one that's going to be at the southwest area of
Okay.
Ocala.
Now, what part of Ocala do you live in?
The southwest side
Okay,
of
so you're in the
Ocala.
southwest, and that's where you've always been?
Pretty much. I was raised right on 475A.
Oh my
So,
gosh. Okay.
Southwest 27th Avenue.
Well,
Yep.
there's a lot of communities out there for sure. There's no doubt. And so, what do you think about the real estate market right now?
I don't think it's as crazy as everyone's thinking. I mean, yes, it slowed down from how crazy it was when it was a frenzy, but actually, that to me was more work because I'd have these sweet buyers and they would put in these
Multiple
amazing,
offers.
well, yeah, but these amazing offers, these escalation clauses
Yep.
that I'm like, oh, there's no way that they're going to reject it. And they would still come back
Yep.
rejected. There was 12 other people behind you. There wouldn't be an opportunity for a counter offer.
Yep.
They would just be like, nope, sorry, we're going with
Final
someone
best.
else.
Yep. Yep.
And it just ended up being that there was more work because I constantly, like
Yep.
every single day we were looking
Yep.
and every single day we were putting offers in.
And you know, it's so true. You're right, because by the time they actually got into contract, if they did, they were frustrated. It wasn't even a happy moment. It wasn't even a happy moment for them.
Yep. I would have to tell them, like, don't get discouraged.
It's gonna happen.
I'm like, your house will come along. Like when it's your time and it's your house, it will come. And it eventually came.
Yep.
And then I know that they were kind of, frustrated and still kind of scared. But once it was said and done, they were so appreciative. They're like, I'm so glad. And I'm so glad, that you just kept encouraging me to keep looking. And then, everything ended up great and they ended up with their home. But it was a lot more work. So now it's better.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like, you see, with the rates going up, things like that. I mean, do you see a lot of cash still coming into the area, or?
Here and there. I think I've just, a lot of the times with my buyers in particular, I tell them, which is cliche, and then you hear everybody say it, but you marry the house, you date the rate,
right.
Like everybody says. And I'm like, you can refinance later.
Absolutely.
I'm like, it's not, you find the house that you want.
If they can, that's what I say too. If you love the house and you can afford the payment, it may hurt. That first check, writing the first check is always the hardest, right? But if you can afford it, and we're going to not put you in something you can't afford, bite the bullet and give it a year, because it's gonna change.
Well, and there's a lot of sellers willing to
do so much now,
right? So I'm like, you kind of want to take advantage of that because they want to make sure it moves.
Yep.
And I mean, these seller concessions, they're pretty good right now.
I know, and that is the key. I mean, there's there's so much. It's so much different than what it was over the last 2 years. But if people absolutely used the seller concession and made the offers, and a lot of agents still are afraid to do that because they came from, so you being kind of fresh in the business, you're not afraid. But there are agents out there that, I can't ask this seller for concession. I said, then you're not going to move that property,
right? Well, I mean, you don't want to. I mean, you're kind of. Like, I don't want to shake or rock the boat, should I say, and totally piss off the seller. But at the same time, like, you got to get in there. I'm like, the worst they're going to say is no.
And what's worse, lowering your price or giving some concessions,
right?
So you got. I mean, I think the sellers. It's just like I've said it in the past. When the rates went up last year and everybody freaked out, and it was totally buyer's shock. Shock of payment. Shock of rates, and oh my God, how when's it going to stop? It was shock for us, because it was like every month the rates were just going up and up and up and up. Well, it took the buyers some time to adjust, and so now they may not like the rate, because we don't like the rates, but they aren't. We don't have to have that hour conversation of marry the house, date the rate. We don't have to do it anymore because they expect it. Right. Now the sellers are learning that they have to accept that the market's not the same as it was last year, where you had multiple offers, you had escalation clauses, you had, it was on the market for one day and it was sold, or it was, it's not that way anymore.
It was tough with my sellers when it was coming out of that market, because they still were wanting to stay, and like, I can just get all this money for my home and I can list it super high, and I'm like, oh gosh, please don't do that. You
Yeah.
just please listen to what I'm saying. And
Well,
it didn't always end up super great.
well, I had a customer, I mean, an agent today who was telling me we had this buyer that her buyer's deal fell through at the last minute, and she went in and relisted the house and put it back on the market, and she got an offer, and it was a pretty good offer. It was probably about $8,000 less than what the list price was, and she wouldn't take it. And the agent was like, she goes, she lost the house she was buying because she lost the contingency contract that was in there. So I'm still hearing a lot where the buyers are like, why isn't it selling faster? Well, why are we having to reduce the price? And it's because it's a different market. So it's become more favorable for buyers. So if you are on the buyer side, it seems to be working better that way too.
Right.
So what do you think your niche is in real estate? I mean,
well, I haven't really gotten there yet, but I know I have obviously a soft spot for law enforcement and also veterans too. I've always been I will see a veteran in their veteran hat, and I'm like, thank you for your service. I just love them so much.
Me too.
And so I think that's probably where I'm at. Just the first responders and VA veterans and VA loans, and I mean, even though VA loans can kind of be a pain sometimes, but I just love the veterans.
Do you think VA loans are
well, just because they're a little bit more finicky and but I don't.
Well, let me tell you something, because I'm a VA specialist.
Oh, okay.
And they are the easiest loan to do.
Well, I'm meaning the just
property, from the property standpoint. Yeah. Anything Govy is going to be a little bit more different. But as far as the customer, I mean, I have a loan right now that's at 65% on their debt ratio, and actually 67. And as long, that's how liberal they are on a lot of the things that you would never get conventional. And I mean, FHA you can get a little higher too, but nothing like VA. So there are some property restrictions.
Well, a lot of the times, because the VA buyers, quite a few would come in with a lower budget. And so then it was a little bit harder, just because,
that's tough.
You're like, they have this lower budget, so you're going to get a little bit not as optimal of a property.
Or the old roofs, or
So that's what I was meaning, like that.
Yep. Well,
but I love my veterans.
Yes.
So that's probably my niche in that way. And then obviously everybody wants to be in the horse farms and the equestrian lifestyle, because that's what we are. That's who where we are. Yeah. But because of growing up on the 152 acres in Bowie in the middle of nowhere, just where my heart's at.
I love that.
Mine's just because that's just where I just would love to be at.
So where do you see yourself like in another year? I mean, you see yourself still in real estate? And
absolutely.
And just killing it?
Well, I hope so.
Okay. Well, I am rooting for you, and I'm banking on the fact that you will be. I think you're going to do. I think you're fantastic, and I think that anyone would be foolish not to give you a shot and make them a homeowner. So, anything I can ever do for you, I'm a phone call away.
Absolutely.
Yep. So thanks for coming in.
You're so
welcome.
You
did great. Give me a high five.
Thank you, girlfriend.